So I was thinking, we're here because of HIV, dangerous disease. And you know, when they talk about HIV, or you're thinking, a lot of times, people who don't really know are thinking about sex and stuff like that. That's not the only way it goes. So tonight we will talk about sex. We will talk about other methods of transmission of HIV. I know we know, but sometimes you will be surprised to find out that there are some people who don't take this seriously. And if we have to help those kids in Cameroon who have lost parents, we have to first help ourselves stay away, prevent it, and then teach others how to prevent it. Now, if you're from Cameroon in here, then you would understand what I'm talking about. When you go to Cameroon, they know you differently because you are what's the name? Somebody tell me. What's the name? Do you know there are some bushfallers in Cameroon who have not yet fallen bush? Those bushfallers who leave Boya, and then they go to Yaoundé, spend 4 weeks in Yaoundé, then they come back to Boya as bushfallers. They can't understand English anymore. They can't understand Pidgin anymore. So we're going to talk about those bushfallers. But before we do, let me talk about the real bushfaller. That means one of us from here. This guy left the United States, went to Cameroon, went to visit his parents. You know, when you come in and they know you're coming, you have your family waiting for you and you have your enemies waiting for you as well. Both thieves and family are all waiting for you. And you know how they do it in Cameroon. This guy shows up and he brings all this good stuff, gives it around, family, everybody is hugging. And you know, when it's time for them to leave, they don't tell you when it's time to leave, you know. So they tell you, oh, I'm gonna be here for another 3 weeks, and then the next day, boom, he's gone. So he told people he was gonna leave in 3 weeks, and the very next day he was gone. Now, some thieves had been planning to come get this guy. They came the very next day after he left, and they wanted to do some damage to that house. When they came looking for him, he was not there, nowhere to be found. They saw his dad. They said, okay, since your son is gone, I think he brought all the goodies and he left it with you, bring the money. And the old man is sitting there thinking the whole family is out. Mother, father, and all the kids are standing out in the living room, terrified. And this guy says, look, we have a syringe in here filled with blood, and this blood has HIV. If you don't give us the money, we're going to inject you with it. And he's sitting there thinking, and the wife is shaking. The wife is already starting to tell him, just go bring everything. Before she opens her mouth, he's like, shh. He went to the room. He told them, you want money? All right, hold on. He went into the room, spent about 4 minutes in the room, and he came out and pulled his shirt out. And he showed them, he said, you see this vein right here, the biggest vein? Go ahead and inject it. And the wife was like, oh, how can you do that? How can you let this man inject you with this blood which is HIV infected already? Don't let that happen. The wife was shaking. And the wife is also shaking particularly because she knows it's a disease that doesn't take you alone. It takes you and your wife. So if you are not afraid for your life, spare my life. She's telling him, don't do this. And the man is like, did I marry you or did you marry me? He showed his hand to the thief. He said, that's the vein. Go ahead and inject it. And the thief was like, are you sure? He's like, inject it. The thief came with the syringe, injected the guy, pumped the HIV-infected blood into his system, and took it out. And he looked at the guy, he's like, do you have anything else? Are you done? Now out of my house. The man left. As the thief left, the wife turned to him, how can you do this? How can you let this man infect you? Now you are HIV positive and you're gonna die and we are all gonna die. How can you do this? He turned to the wife and was like, don't worry. He pulled down his zipper and said, look, I wore my condom.